Hi Kavya. Hi Josephine.
Hi Preeta. Hi Josephine.
Hello.
So Ras, do you have any questions regarding last class? Were you able to complete the assignments?
Yes,
We discussed about notifications in our last class.
yes,
And I
Kavya.
think I gave you assignment to create notifications for story table, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Josephine, do you have any questions?
No, Kavya.
Okay, fine. So today we'll discuss about business rules. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, Kavya.
So you can find business rule under system definition. So here, I'll open any existing business rule. Okay. So in any business rule, I'll just remove this. Okay. So if there is any action that has to be performed on a record or on a table, um, when when you insert a record, insert is nothing but, so here you have four options, right? Insert, update, delete, and query. So insert means whenever you create a new record, that is insert. Update is when you update an existing record. And then delete means when you delete a record, and then query means when you are querying a record, right? Like you're getting the list of records, that is called as query. Okay, so whenever you perform these actions, if you want some action to happen in ServiceNow, then we make use of business rule. Okay, so basically business rule, this is what it contains. So first is the name. You just give the name of the business rule. Then you select the table. So table is on which table you want to perform this business rule. And then you have active, when you're making, I mean, if you don't want to use this business rule later, you can just make it inactive. Otherwise, if it is active, that means it is in use. And then we have filter conditions. So filter conditions just means like when you want to run these business rules. Okay. And then update and insert means do you want to run it when the new record is created or when the existing record is updated. If you want to run it on both the conditions, then you can select both. Okay, like whenever a new record is created as well as when the existing record is updated. Like in both the conditions, if you want this business rule to run, then you can select both. And then we have action. Okay, we have role conditions. So this role conditions means like if say for example you like each of the users have different roles, right? So only if the user has XYZ role, then only this business rule has to run. In that case, you can add that role here. Okay, so that means if any user who has say ITIL, if I add ITIL role here, okay, or admin role, so that means this business rule will run only if the user who has ITIL role will insert or update this record. Okay, otherwise, if the user doesn't have ITIL role, sorry, admin role, then this business rule will not run in that case. Okay, and also filter condition means only if the record satisfies this filter condition, then only this business rule will run. If the filter condition does not satisfy what we have on the record, then this business rule will not run. So this is about when to run, and then we have actions. So in actions, you can either set the field values, or you can add a message, or you can abort action. Okay, so abort action is nothing but whenever you are trying to, okay, let's see if we have prevent the rule from carrying out any actions. So abort action is nothing but you should not allow user to, okay, I'll just select this. Yeah. So abort action is nothing but you should not allow user to perform the particular action. Okay, so say for example, we'll open any record, incident record. And here, if I open any existing record, so there are different actions provided here, right? Like we have update, we have resolve, and similarly we have save, and then there could be other actions also like insert and stay or insert, or it could be any action. So if the condition matches, I mean, if when to run condition matches, then it should abort the action. Okay, whatever is performing. Like if all these condition matches and you are clicking on this update button, it should not work. It should abort that action. Okay, it will not let you update this record. That is what abort means. Then add message means it will just display a message. Okay, so here it just creates an information message that displays when this business rule runs. It will just display a message. Okay, and then set field values means it will change the field values to something. Say for example, active, if you want to, I mean, you can change the active field to false, or you can make it same as some other field value. Okay, or you can select this one caller. I do not have caller here. Okay, this table is different, that's why. Okay, if I change it to incident table, okay, so now I'll see, yeah, so now I'll see caller field. Yeah, so I can change the caller to something else. I can set it to something else, or I can make it same as something else. You know, like these kind of actions I can perform using business rule. Okay. So now we will create a new business rule and see how it works. Oh, let's see if there is any business rule for incident table. Okay, we have these many. Okay, so there are 37. All of them are active true. Status when incident state changes to in progress. Okay, so this business rule runs before and state is okay, color is done. Okay, so we'll create a new business rule for incident table. So now my requirement will be whenever the assignment group is Servicenow, I guess. We have ITSM engineering group. So whenever the assignment group is ITSM engineering, then I want impact and urgency to be changed to high. Okay, so this is my requirement. And then do we have a field called VIP? Okay, we have a field called VIP, right? I'll just add it. Okay, we have a field called VIP here. So VIP just means it is used to differentiate the users. Okay, like say for example, there are few users in your organization, few employees in your organization who are like really important, right? Say for example, directors or some managers or board of. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, like board of directors and managers. So they are all very important people. So if you get any incident or requirement from those users, you should do it. You should do it on priority, right? You should work on it on priority, because if you're not doing it on priority, then they will escalate. Like they can do anything. They can even fire you because they have that option, right? So that is why we have this field called VIP to differentiate such users from all other users. So what I'll do is I'll open the user table. And here I'll add that VIP field. Okay, I'll make few. Okay, so whenever an incident is created, if the user, if the user is VIP, then I want the impact and urgency to be high. Okay, like even if the impact and urgency they select is something else when they create the incident, I want it to change the impact and urgency to high. So let's see how that works. First, we'll go to incident. I'll go to create new. So here, yeah, this is also one of the users who is currently VIP, right? So I'll select the caller as that user. Okay. So you can see it is showing, the username is showing in red color, and you can see the label also VIP. So now okay, impact and urgency is as it is. I'll just see this and then save this record. Okay, so currently impact and urgency is whatever, if it is low, it is just taking it as low. So now I'll create a new business rule for this. Update. So when to run, when show related fields, because we have VIP field in the caller table, right? And in user table. So I'm dot walking the caller field. Then I'm selecting the VIP. If VIP is true, and during insert, I want action. Okay. Field impact changes to high, and also urgency changes to high. Okay. So now what I have created a new business rule for incident table, and whenever the VIP is true and when the new record is inserted. So inserted means to create a new record, right? Like whenever a new record is created, then if VIP is true, then impact and urgency is changed to high. We'll save this. So now we'll go to incident create new. I'll select the same user. Okay. Let's see. So now it is low, right? Both of it is low. We'll save. Okay. You see the impact and urgency is set to high by default, right? So now what I'll do, I'll change it to medium. So maybe I am the person who is working. Okay, this incident is assigned to service desk support group. Okay. So now I know that I have to work on this on priority. So to avoid that, what I will do, I'll just change it to medium. And now I'll save it. This also to medium. So now I'll save this. Okay, so I was able to change it to medium, right? But that should not happen. Correct? Because I always want this, like if it is VIP, I want this to be high, irrespective of what updates is done. Okay, so in that case, what I'll do, I'll select when to run, update also to true. We'll see. So now let's try to change it to something else. Okay, I'll make it as low. Okay, so now you can see the priority is low. I'll save this. So now I am making some update to this record, right? So now you can see it again by default, it changed to high. So you can see that here also. Okay, it was medium and again it became high. Let's try to change it to low again. Okay, so I have made both of these low. I'll try to save it. Okay, you can see it is, I have selected them as low. We'll try to save. It is still high. Okay, so this is how the business rule works. So far, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so now for the same business rule, I will create a message, add message. So let's see how this one works. So here I'll change something. Add. So when I update the message, I update the record, I should see that info message. So let's see. This is the info message. Okay, so if you want to display any info message on update or insert of a record, you can create a business rule and you can add that under message here. Okay, so this is how the info message works. Then we have something called as abort action. So abort action, if I do something, it should not make any changes. So let's see. Let's see if this. Okay. So now I have to change the description to test 1, 2, 3. See, it says invalid update. It will not allow you to make any changes, okay, because it's that you have selected the abort action, right? So this is the record. It will not allow you to make any changes. And make it as low. Try to save. Okay. Let's see now. See, it will not allow you because you have selected if the condition matches, then whatever action is performed on the record should not be it should not be allowed because abort action is selected, right? So since this record matches the condition, that is user is VIP, it is not letting you to make any changes. Okay, so that is how you make use of abort action. I mean, that is what happens when you select abort action. So now we'll change it back. So you also have another option called advanced here. So if I select advanced, I can choose more conditions for when. Okay, so before we had only insert or update, right? So now you will also have delete and query, and you also have when to run condition and also order. Okay, so these are all the additional options you will get if you select advanced option. So here this means if when to run is selected as before, the business rule runs before the record is inserted. If you select when to run as after, it runs after the record is updated. Okay, and if you select async, so async is usually used when you run business rule. I mean, when you want to run business rule simultaneously, it's neither before nor after. Okay, like async is usually used in scheduled jobs. Whenever you are running a business rule on scheduled job, then you make use of async business rule. Otherwise, it is always before and after business rule. And then you have something called as display business rule. So for display business rule, if you select display, you will not see any other options, right? When it is create, update, or I mean create, update, insert, or delete or query, you will not see any of those. So display business rule is usually used to store a certain value. So we will make use of display business rule in future when you learn more about scripting. So for now, you will only use before and after business rule. Okay, so before business rule, as I said, it works before the insert or before update or before delete or before query. And similarly, after business rule works after the record is created or after the update has been done. So that is about before and after. So do you have any questions here? Okay, so let's also try to make, I mean, I don't know if that will work here, but anyways, let's see. So I have selected after insert or update and actions as same thing, right? Okay, so we'll save this. So this means after I make some update, it should change the values. Okay. Here I don't think it will work. Okay, so this before and after business rule, I'll tell you how it works. Say for example, this is the incident, and before you make any update to this record, like you select something to this record, you make some changes to this record, okay? Like you change the short description or something, or yeah. Then before this record is updated, you want to perform some action on some other table. Okay, so that could be yeah, so let's consider this record. I'll add any other incident as parent incident. Okay. Okay. So now this is the requirement. So if the user is VIP, then and if when the parent incident is added, so how do you make out whether the I mean, if now the parent incident was empty, right? So now when the parent incident is added, so that will be your condition. So how do you add that condition? You'll just add the condition here: parent incident is not empty, or parent incident changes, right? Parent incident changes and it is not empty. Is not empty. Okay. So if both the condition matches, that means this field is not empty and there is some record in this field, correct? So that is the case. So in that case, whenever the parent incident changes and it is not empty, then I want to update that parent incident fields also to high. Okay, I want that priority also to be updated as high. So for that, we'll create a new business rule for that. You can perform it for the same business rule also. So how do you do that? No. Okay. You can't do that here. Okay, because see, in actions you have impact to change option to change the impact and urgency to high, but this impact and urgency only refers to this particular incident, right? So let us see if we can select. Okay. We have this option also. Parent incident field impact. Okay. Okay, see, for some reason, for parent incident field, I don't see the impact and urgency option here. Parent incident fields. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay. Urgency and priority, right? Okay, we have priority. We will change the priority to critical. Okay, so this should work. So here, when to run? When the caller VIP is true, it should run then. And here, or condition, or caller VIP is true, and parent incident is not empty. And parent incident changes. Okay, so it should run when, so in either of these conditions should be satisfied. First thing is if the VIP, caller VIP is true, then this action will, impact and urgency will be changed to high. And similarly, we have, or these conditions must be true. So here also caller VIP is true, and then parent incident is not empty and parent incident changes. So that just means that under related record, parent incident field is not empty. So in that case, what should happen? Like even this also will happen. Like priority, this is the priority of parent incident, right? This also will be changed to critical. So let us save this. And I'll also remove that add message because we don't need this add message. Okay. So here you can see the impact and urgency is low here, right? So now when I update this record, it should change, even that should be changed to high. The priority should be changed to high. So what do we have the priority here? The priority is currently 5, that is planning. It should be changed to critical, right? So I have updated the parent incident. Let us save this record. Now we'll see. Okay. Okay, fine. So because it did not happen because depending on impact and urgency, this priority field is changing, right? So we can't directly change the priority field. Instead, we have to change the impact and urgency to high, and then it will by default change the priority to high, sorry, to critical. But here in this case, update priority, we do not have that impact field, right? For parent incident, we are not able to find that field only. So if I select search for parent incident fields, so there was impact and urgency field, I was not able to select there. So in this case, what you have to do is you can make use of advanced, and here you can write a script instead. So for all the actions which cannot be performed using the set field values, or the out of box available options, you can make use of advanced option, and there you can add the script. So even when to run condition also. So here also my condition can be, say for example, my when to run condition is when the parent incident impact is low. Okay, so here if I select parent incident, not this one. Okay, so your parent incident. Okay, parent incident fields, and then let's see if we have impact. Okay, here I can select impact, but here set field values I was not able to select impact. Anyways, so even for conditions also, say for example, if you're not able to select something for conditions here, in that case, you can make use of conditions in the advanced. Okay, so it just means it will, like say for example, here you have given few conditions, like 2 conditions here, and then remaining condition you give it under here in the form of script. Then it will check both the conditions. Okay, so it will consider this as AND condition. Like it will check for if caller VIP is true, and any other condition which is mentioned here, and also these conditions, okay, which is mentioned here also. So it will check all these conditions, and then only it will if the conditions matches, then only it will execute the script. Okay, so whenever you select advanced option for anything, it can be a business rule, or it can be a UI policy which we recently learned, right? So UI policy and data policy also, which we learned recently. So if you go anywhere, any of these tables or records, So here also after when to apply, I mean, here also you have a script, right? Script option. You can select run script and this will just run if it is true. I mean, if these conditions are true, then what script should be run, and if the condition is false, then what action should be taken. So that also you can write in the form of scripting. So you can make use of scripting in almost everything in ServiceNow. Like it can be UI policies or business rule or data policy or UI action, or you have something called as client script also. So everywhere you can make use of these scripting. So we make use of JavaScript in ServiceNow. Okay. So in order for you to execute JavaScript in your browser, what you have to do is, I recommend using Chrome for ServiceNow because ServiceNow works best on Chrome compared to all other, all other browsers. So first thing you have to do is you have to go to your Chrome settings, go here, okay, and then click on these three dots, okay, on your top right, click on these three dots, and here you have to go to settings. And once you go to settings, you have to go to privacy and security. Go to privacy and security, and then here under privacy and security, you will find site settings. Okay, so you have to go to site settings, and then under site settings, you have something called as JavaScript under the content. Okay, so now go to JavaScript and then make sure this is selected. Okay, sites can use JavaScript, this should be selected. If this is selected, then you can run JavaScript in your browser. Okay, so can you just go and check in your Chrome settings whether this is enabled or not? I'll give you 2 minutes, so that in case you don't understand, we can check and make the settings. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Kavya.
Yeah. So you understood way to check, right? Just
Yes.
yeah, just click on this, customize and control Google Chrome. Go to privacy and security, and then go to site settings. So under site settings, under content, you have to enable JavaScript. So let me know once you have done this.
Yes, Kavya, it is enabled.
Yeah, Kavya.
Okay. So for JavaScript, we will make use of Notepad. Okay, we'll write all the scripts in Notepad and we'll run it from there. Before we go to JavaScript, so in ServiceNow, there are two types of scriptings, okay? So one is client-side scripting and the other one is server-side scripting. So you can differentiate whether it is client-side or server-side depending on when these scripts are executed. Okay, so for example, when you want your script to be triggered when you perform update, delete, or insert options, right? So that means whenever you're creating a new record, there should be something which should happen. Some action should happen when you create a record, or when you update the existing record, or when you delete the record. So these kind of the scripting which you use to perform these three actions are called as server-side scripting. Okay, so basically you make use of business rule. So the business rule, what you saw, it makes use of server-side scripting. And then whenever you want to, the scripting which is okay, okay, based on the activities, like, when you hover your mouse to somewhere, right? Like I just bring my mouse here and it will show me some text here. So if I, okay, so see, if when I bring my mouse here, it shows me query condition used to enable policy run. So this is something which happened without updating, inserting or creating the record, right? Or deleting the record. I'm just simply moving my mouse and this happened. And also here, you see, if I select this to display, these fields got disappeared, right? All the other 4 fields were hidden. So if I change it to something else, again, I can see some other fields here. So even the priority also. So if I change it to before, see the priority field is again hidden. So these kind of changes, these kind of changes are called as client-side changes. That means I am the client who is making use of ServiceNow, right? Like I am using this page, I am the client. So whatever changes I can visibly see, they are all called as client-side. Okay. And whatever takes place in the backend on the server side, like the updating or inserting or deleting, like it means the records, the actions is happening on the server side, on the server database, correct? So those are all called as server side scripting. Okay, and whatever happens on the client side, like clicking on click of some button, something is happening, or on change of some field, I can see some other fields displaying or hiding, or some other actions happening. So these are all called as client side scripting. Okay, so these are the two types of scripting which you see in ServiceNow. So now onwards, whatever you make use of, that is the business rule. When you are creating a business rule, you should always keep in mind that business rule is a server-side script. Okay, business rule uses server-side script. So even if you are not adding any script here to perform these actions, right? Oh, I thought I changed. Yeah. Even when you are not adding any script here, you are selecting some values here, and that is doing some changes, right? So this is also a server-side scripting. Okay, basically the business rule uses server-side scripting to make it work. Okay, so do you have any questions? Did you understand the difference between server-side and client-side?
Yes, Kavya.
Okay, if you did not understand, you can just let me know. Okay, so I'll assume that you understood. Anyway, so as I was saying, if we are making use of script in ServiceNow, we will make use of JavaScript. Okay, and also we make use of HTML and CSS, but that is in notification. So JavaScript is something which is used for client-side scripting. Okay, so whereas I mean HTML and CSS, you make use of them in notifications because you want to modify the text style or something, right? Or the border of the notification. Okay, let's just open any notification. Okay, so here we have what it will contain. We have given an email template. Okay, yes, we'll preview notification. So this is how the body looks like. So say for example, I want to change the color of this text. Okay, I want to change color of short description. I want to add, in between spaces between these two lines. I want to increase that. I want to add logo of my organization at the beginning of the notification. So all such things can be achieved by using HTML or CSS. Okay, HTML code or CSS code. And so only in notifications, and then there is something called as widgets in ServiceNow. So only for notifications and widget you will make use of HTML and CSS. In all other places, you will make use of JavaScript. So for scripting, you will make use of Notepad. So we'll practice the script using Notepad for now. So this is how the syntax of the JavaScript looks like. It starts with HTML coding, and then we have header section of HTML, and then we have script type, which is so this is something which you will have to remember if you are making use of JavaScript along with HTML. Okay, so everything which is say for example you are declaring something and all of that, that will come under header section, and all the other kind of scripting, like whatever you want to execute, that comes under body section of the HTML coding. But here we will only make use of script part. Okay, from here to yeah. So if you learn, I mean, this is all you have to keep in mind for now, just the script part. Okay, I'll just delete all this. So first line will always be script in the notepad. Then you can type anything. Okay, here comes your script, and then it should always end with backslash and then script again. Okay, so this is the syntax of your JavaScript coding. So it should start with script and then end with backslash script with these brackets. Okay, and then you always save your file with the extension of .html. Okay, so here I'll go to desktop. Then you have to select the save as type as all files, and then for syntax you will save it as HTML. So whenever you are creating a new script in your notepad, I mean this is outside Servicenow, okay? So you're not making use of the script in Servicenow. This is outside Servicenow when you are going for JavaScript. This is how you will start your script. It will start with script and then end with backslash script, and then you will always save your file with .html. Okay, file extension as .html. So here let us I just want to display a text. So what I'll do, I'll just give it as alert, and then I'll give script. Okay, so we'll save this. So now we'll go to files. Oh, did I just save it as HTML? Okay, sorry. Okay, you just have to, whatever script you will write, just go to file and then go to save as condition, and then save as type all files, and here we give script 1 HTML. Save. Okay, this is the script which is saved. So now the script what I wrote is this. Okay, I'm just alerting Servicenow. So this is the code what you use to alert something. So alert is nothing but a display a message. Okay, so now all I'm doing using this code is displaying some message, right? I'll just go here and I'll open my script. So you can see it just says the alert. I mean, this page says my first script. So my first script is what I get inside alert. Okay, so that is all my script is doing now. So this is okay. So this is the code what you use to display something or alert something. Even in Servicenow also, if you want to alert something, you simply make use of this code. Let's just see here. Okay. So it works here also. Okay. The same thing, whatever you write here. So if you want to execute any script in ServiceNow, what I mean for particular record, then what you have to do is you have to open that record. Then you have to type Shift, Control, and Alt and J. Okay. Shift, Control, and Alt plus J. So if you have your personal instance open, you can try that. Just open any record and you have to open, you have to hold Shift, Control, Alt, and then plus J. I'll just type it in the chat as well. Shift plus Control plus Alt plus G. Okay. You have to hold all these buttons together. And once you do that, you will see this JavaScript executed. So here also you can type your JavaScript. Okay, so when you are typing inside this one, you don't have to use this syntax of script, starting with script and ending with script. You don't have to use it because this already says JavaScript executor, right? So it already knows that this is JavaScript. And it will understand. You just have to give whatever you are giving inside the script part, whatever code you are writing, that only you have to write it here. So for now, I'm just using alert, right? So if I want to alert something, I can just simply type what I want to alert. And then you should always remember that any JavaScript code always ends with a semicolon. Okay. And then you have to just click on run my code and this will show the alert. Okay. Whatever you give inside the script, that will show as alert. So if you know basics of C programming or C++, you must remember there is something called as print, right? Like you are either to display some message, you will use print option there. And to for the system to read something, you will use scan there. So here you will simply use alert. Okay, instead of print, you will use alert, and this is the line what you make use of to alert anything. So do you have any questions here?
No, Kavya.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we have something called as variable. Okay, so variables are nothing but it is a container which is used to store certain values. Okay, so for any coding language, so variable can be, for example, variable A. I'll just declare a variable. So whenever you are, whenever you are writing a code for variable, you will start it with var and then you will give the container some name. Okay, so say for example, I'll give it as name only. So my variable is name, or it can be number also. I'll just give it as number. So that just means this is something, this variable number is a container which I can use to store any number. Okay, so now this is called as declaring. Okay, so when you, declaring a variable just means you are typing variable and then you will give a name to that variable and then end it with a semicolon. Okay, this is called as declaring of variables. So now I can make use of this number variable anywhere. I can assign a value to it. Say, for example, number is equal to 10. Okay, or I can also assign I can assign multiple values to it. So each time it will just take the new value what I enter. And now I'll give alert what number. Okay. So here, what did I do? Okay. If you don't want any line in ServiceNow, you can in JavaScript, you can simply comment out that line. So this is what you use to comment out. Okay, you can simply use double backslash to comment out something, or say for example, okay, yeah, this is some you can either comment out by using double slash, or you can comment out by using this one also. Okay, so the difference between this one double backslash and using this one is, say for example, you want to comment out 100 lines. Okay, so instead of adding this double backslash to 100 of lines, at the beginning of first line you can write this one, and then at the end of the 100, after 100 line has ended, you can write this one. So what it will do is it will consider all 100 lines as a comment. Okay, so if you want to comment out few lines, say 1 or 2 lines, you can make use of this one. Okay, or if you want to comment out a certain portion of code which contains a lot of, I mean, many number of lines, then you can make use of this. Because like we don't usually delete any codings, right? Because maybe we want to, you are still trying to modify something. Maybe you want to keep this code as it is, and make use of it later, or you are just trying to see how the code works without this portion of code. Okay, so in that case, you just want to keep it as it is, right? Or you want somebody to know how it was before you made any changes, right? And then you will write a new code here so that people will understand, okay, before it was this one, like this piece of code was also there, and later it was commented out and a new piece of code was written. So for all these cases, you will make use of something called as comment. The comment just means it does not do anything to the code. Okay, so it will not do anything. Like comments means it does not make any sense at all. It just for your understanding that the code, this piece of code was there. Okay, it is used for information purpose. And also say, for example, you made some code changes in your script for as part of some story. Okay, so then what you can do is you can simply comment here and put that story number here. Okay, story number something. So and also you can write here what you are doing as part of this story. I'm just making some field read only, making XYZ read only. So this will also help you understand what you did in this script, right? So from this portion to this portion, if your comment is this one, making this field read only, then you will know that if you execute, I mean, this part of script is making a field read only. So even if somebody else is going through your script, they will understand what the script is doing, right? Like just by going through the script, like this is something simple. So that is why you understand what it is doing. But say, for example, we are talking about a large portion of script. There are so many functions and all you are using, you're calling so many methods. In that case, you can simply write a comment and say what you're doing as part of this script. So even here also, so this is alert, right? So here what I'll do, I'll start my comment here. I'll just give alerting or shows message, display number. So this is what my script is doing, right? If I give alert number means it will alert the number. I mean, it will display the number, and what it is doing, I'm writing it as comment. So if you want to write a comment, you simply have to write a double slash. So if you do it like from the beginning of that double slash till the end of this line, everything will be considered as a comment. Okay, so this line can have anything, right? So in case you are writing, okay, in case you are writing multiple lines, in that case, I mean, you are commenting out multiple lines, you can either make use of this one, and if it is also a mixture of HTML coding. So um, even in when you write HTML coding in notification, there also you make use of JavaScript, right? Say for example, you are also adding a button. So in the notification, as part of notification, you are also in the email notification, you also want to add two buttons called approve or reject for approval notification. So that means when a user is receiving the notification, they can click on either approve or reject button. So when they click on approve, it will perform the approval action. So it will simply change the record to approve. Or if they click on reject button, it will simply change the if it will simply change the record to rejected, right? So there you are using both HTML as well as JavaScript. So in that case also, you can make use of this comment. And if you're using only JavaScript, you can either comment it out like this. So do you have any questions regarding the comments and variables?
No, Kavya.
Okay, are you understanding? Because this is my first time also teaching coding. I'm not used to teaching programming languages from the beginning. So if you are not understanding anything, or if you want me to change my teaching style, I mean, anything, if you're facing any problem here, you can just let me know, and I can work on it by next class. Okay, fine then. Tomorrow we'll continue the scripting part. We will look into more topics. We'll cover more topics of JavaScript, and then we can get back to Servicenow as soon as possible. Okay. And
Kavya,
yeah.
Kavya, last time we discussed about I mean going through JavaScript on ServiceNow platform.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I think that is better for me also because
yeah, because this one is all basics that we can just Google and see. But with respect to ServiceNow is more important, I feel.
okay, cool then. If you can learn the basics on your own, we can go to yeah, we can directly work on ServiceNow. So I'll
But
just
Kavya, can you just list it out? What
yeah.
are the basics that needs to be needed so that we can Google it, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not.
It is like very basics only, like if else, if like such statements, conditions, and all. I'll explain. Okay, just a few things. JavaScript introduction. I'll just type them in chat. You can just Google introduction. I mean, what is JavaScript, why it is used, and everything. So that is one thing. And then the syntax. And variables, operators, data types. Okay, so you can try this much on your own. So these are all like theoretical data. Okay, these are all like very simple. You can just Google it on your own. You can finish all these topics within 1 hour if you are even learning a coding language for the first time. Okay, so these are all like really basics. So you can go through these, and if possible, you can go through functions and objects also. But I'll also try to cover as much as possible when we are writing a code in ServiceNow. Whatever line of code I'm writing, any JavaScript, if it covers any of these topics or any new topics, I'll try to explain there as well. So this much you can just try to learn on your own. Okay. Fine then. We'll meet tomorrow. And for today's class assignment, so you have to just create the same business rule what I showed, and there did you create a new field called process owner and story?
Yes, Kavya.
Okay. So if the process owner is VIP, then do we have a priority for stories, priority field for stories?
No.
Okay, then add a priority field for story. Okay, with the same choice value, just priority. Impact and urgency is not required. Just create a new choice field called priority, and then add low,
That's it?
medium.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
go ahead.
just yeah, I'll just type. Create a new priority. Okay, on stories. Okay. Then, whenever the process owner is VIP, okay. So here I have mentioned if process owner is VIP, then priority should be updated to high always. So always means even if somebody is trying to change it manually, then also it should by default get updated to high. Okay, so you know how to do that, right? And let me see if I give you anything else. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Okay, try to work on this business rule and then just go through the basics of JavaScript and HTML basic, like very, very basic. Okay, so that tomorrow we'll start scripting in ServiceNow. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can just let me know tomorrow. I'll also try to add more theory questions in WhatsApp group. You can refer them also, like try to answer them. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Kavya.
Okay. Fine then. Thank you. See you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. Bye, Josephine.
Bye, Kavya. Bye, Prita.
Yeah, bye.